Uh, John, the average gamer here, and just catching up on his reading. Yeah, some good old 2002 magazines on April. Yep, right there. Oops. And, telling you the truth, guys, I'm happy I have these kind of collections. Tips and tricks. Have you guys ever read this magazine? A lot of people tell you that you guys are cheaters and you shouldn't be reading them. No. New. It's not a cheating book. Okay? It's tips and tricks right there. You know, can't miss a magazine like this. Okay. Tips and tricks. Yeah. Over 3,200 video game secrets. Alright? That's what it says right here. Right there. Right? I don't know if that's true, but I didn't get a chance to count them. But magazines like this, I read them in the crapper. Yeah, a little personal, but man, if you want everything to get out of the situation, this is the game magazines that you want. And this is pretty much the only magazines that, back in early 2000s and the 90s that allow you to cheat and allow you to get ahead of a level that you can, beat. And I would say that, yeah, it has cheat codes, but it's not necessarily cheating. It doesn't really say that, hey, you know what, if you beat the game and you want to know more of the secrets, you want to, get through some stuff that you didn't really get, you didn't see, this is a magazine you want to, you want to read. But I'm going to let you know about this magazine a little bit. It's a spin-off of Electronic Gaming Monthly. If you guys heard of them, they've been around for a while, like since the 90s and, mid 2000s before they sadly discontinue the copies. And so they had the spin-off magazines, and they have those kind of magazines, and they're very entertaining. Before you got the YouTube and the internet, telling you about the games coming out, especially magazines like GamePro and unofficial PlayStation magazine. These guys were awesome. These guys were madly awesome. I miss them. Especially when you're reading a magazine in a crapper, it's something special. It's like personal. You're sharing that moment. But gaming magazines in general fill the void that you couldn't get when you were at E3 or didn't have access to the computer, or even back then they didn't even have channels for gamers. So magazines were a little bit more personal when it came down to the gamers. You could fill in your fan letter to the magazines and tell your opinion. You could even, this is back then, you had to write and send it out. And especially the up and coming games that most of them comes out, most of them don't come out. So you get a snapshot of these games would never ever come out. So especially magazines that still out today and sell their souls, like Game Informer. Yeah, come on, you're the only gaming company out there, gaming magazine out there that still publish, and they're not doing a really good job. It just feels like it's magazines getting rushed in, rushed out, and it just doesn't feel personal to me when I read it. These guys put in a lot of details, with their magazines, the ad avenues, the summer camps they put in for people, I don't know when they stop doing codes in their magazines, but you still have these ads here and these little, trinkets they can still send out. Meaning fan art. Honest, I still do fan art. I know, but especially the games that you just look back on and not having some guy on the internet telling you about how great these games are, and you just don't want to see someone else's point of view. You just want to like look at the pictures and you want to go through the the game yourself. You got games like Jet Set Radio Future, Fatal Frame, Smash Drive. Like it's fun, and you got ads like they took balls. Like they give you things like this. You pay on dog poop, all right, for cigarettes. You don't see Game Informer doing that, but they took stuff, and they ran with it. Especially if you guys remember this, I gotta show you guys. Sneakers with wheels. Okay, I don't know if that's the greatest thing they invented or a terrible thing. I never owned a pair, with these shoes because I don't want to bust my ass. I was a fat kid back then. I don't want to bust my ass. Everyone laughs at me already. Like, yeah, but you had magazines that took a chance, and they ran with the articles. They ran with stuff like they want to have fun with it. People, the eye catching, and you got the big old Star Wars logos in the front, and they want to make it flashy and saying that, hey, we got all the things here, but we want to focus on the Star Wars Revenge. But look at this. Like 2002 was a good year with games, and especially like the PlayStation, the last cycles of the PlayStation. Especially the Mega Man X6. I think that's the last Mega Man for the PlayStation that came out. Or I think it was 7. I think 7 came out for the PlayStation 2. I'm not sure. If you guys send a comment, make sure that it's I'm correct. But 2002 wasn't like the best games or yet the worst games. It was fun games came out. This is a year after the PlayStation 2 came to the United States. Japan already had it like 2000, so we get it a year late. But 2002 was exciting when it came up to fun games. It wasn't memorable with a lot of them, but they still came out, and it's still like still stuck in your head. And especially games were still coming out at that time. I mean, like PlayStation 2 had a lot more games coming out that year. I mean, like, that's why PlayStation 2 rules. But magazines, you get them covered, like the official and unofficial magazines, like the PlayStation and the Game Informer. I think came out in 2009. Oh no, sorry, not 2009, 99. But Game Pro, it's a special heart to me. That's the first magazine I ever picked up back in '96, and that came out with the article Mortal Kombat Trilogy that for the N64 still had. I personally liked the game when it came out, and because I'm young-minded who liked Mortal Kombat, who liked the gore back then. But I still remember that magazine because it was my first magazine. It's the first time I ever used it in the toilet. And with that, they had a demo of the original Resident Evil 2. That's before Cloverfield was introduced. That's a demo that they rechanged the entire game, and that was the first hint of what it's gonna look like. But the game itself, we didn't get a chance to play it. But the new version of PlayStation, Resident Evil 2, was better. But getting off topic, that was my first magazine, and it's sad to see it go. When YouTube was going, IGN was ruling the internet gaming commute. But you got Electronic Gaming Monthly that came out. That was also one of the fun magazines you could watch. So PlayStation, unofficial PlayStation magazine, God, I like these guys. They were funny, they were fun. They were unofficial, meaning that they could say things before they even get a chance for Sony to say it was clear. But all in all, that was a fun magazine. you guys get a chance, you ever had in your basement or in your stack in your room. They were fun magazines. So it's a good chance to you know reread them, I could say. And it's just they fun. Unofficial was like, you know I like years ahead of their time, before the official magazines were giving you boring articles. It was still fun, but I didn't really like the official. Like, I like the unofficial one. If you guys ever had like those old magazines you still read, tell me in the comments below, and share the nostalgia. You guys like the gaming community back then when games was fun. Games still fun, but they were a lot funner back then. They would come very, very tough games, but so again, I take you guys for watching, and thanks for sharing this moment of my classic magazines. So if you like the show, subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and catch you guys later of the average gamer. All right, John the average gamer. All right, so take care, you guys.